Hey guys, it is time once again for another episode of, you guessed it, Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So let's see what happened today here. Took this car for a really nice long test drive, and I have to say this is probably one of the best driving Beetles I've ever driven. I don't know what it is about this car, but it is such a pleasure to drive. Just the motor just purrs, is super smooth. The transmission shifts like butter. The steering is nice and tight. The brakes feel great. Like everything about this car is just awesome to drive. So yeah, I took it on my usual test route this morning, which is probably, I don't know, 7-8 miles or so on local surface streets here, and just enjoyed every second of it with this car, other than being nervous that some a-hole was gonna run a red light and T-bone me. Other than my usual anxiety about driving a customer's car, this thing is just a bitchin' car to drive in every way. So yeah, I took it back. The carburetor didn't really need any adjustment. It's running great. And so I went ahead and washed it for him. I use a rinseless wash, and because we don't like to turn garden hoses on these cars. There's too many places where water can get in where it probably doesn't need to be. But yeah, I did a rinseless wash, and man, this paint, for being 18 or 20-year-old paint, really cleans up nicely. With like a high quality buffing job done on this thing, it would just look unbelievable. But even with just the rinseless wash, amazing. The bumpers still have some kind of light patina on them, but again, I didn't come anywhere near the bumpers with steel wool or anything. This is just kind of, again, using that rinseless wash on them, and kind of going over them with a microfiber towel. So yeah, really nice. Finished up this one today. The owner is just an awesome guy to work with, and sent him his bill. He paid it. He's going to probably come get his car. I think he's talking about Friday morning maybe. But I don't mind having this car in the shop a few extra days because it's beautiful and I love looking at it. So there you go. Anyhow, speaking of things I love looking at, this thing still just blowing me away every time I look at it. But let's talk about what actually else happened around here today. So Jacob came in this afternoon and went ahead and pulled, and I helped him out and guided him a little bit. Pulled the transmission out of this guy. So yeah, basically disconnected the e-brake cables, disconnected the axles from the spring plates. Let's see what else was left on this. I think that was it. And then pretty much, the transmission mounts front and rear, and pulled that out. My transmission guy was able to swing by today and pick up the transmission, so it's off to its rebuild. I think he said probably a couple weeks or so. Not a huge hurry, because I'm sure the long block will take a bit longer than that probably. But anyway, so yeah, after we got the transmission out, had Jacob go ahead and kind of clean up in here. It had the usual nastiness on the frame horns and stuff, so clean those up. They came out pretty nice. I don't know if I'll do any painting or anything under here. This car's not really in for like a restoration per se. Mainly it's in just for the engine and transmission rebuild, but we still want it to be nice for him. I may or may not shoot some paint back here, but probably not. It's clean now, and I don't want to charge him for a bunch of stuff he didn't ask for, so probably just leave it clean and original down there. But anyhow, so yeah, that happened today on this one. So it's pretty much going to sit here now until the motor and transmission come back, and then yeah, it'll go back together. The EV bug today, Rafa mostly worked on making a new trunk liner here for it. So we got that all made out of this kind of, I don't know what you call this material. It's kind of like cardboard, for lack of a better word. Stuff that we get from the upholstery store. No, let's see, that's not it. Well, you'll have to take my word for it. It's like this thick cardboard that's used for interior work. Not like corrugated cardboard. But anyway, so bought a big sheet of that stuff, and then he went crazy kind of making a pattern and stuff and got it all fit up in there nice. It's going to cover everything really nice. And then that particular cardboard backing is over at Octavio's now, our next door neighbor that does a lot of our upholstery. He's going to cover it in some kind of carpet, and then it'll go in, and this whole area is just going to look super clean. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this yet, because I actually like the aluminum look, but it just kind of has a lot of like scratches and scuffs on it that this car is super nice. And so this thing just kind of all scuffed up looking, just kind of doesn't look right. So I may take a Scotch-Brite pad to it and see if I can kind of get those scuffs out and just give it more of a brushed finish. If that doesn't work, then I may take it and have somebody actually like professionally polish it. It's got to look good. So one way or the other, we'll take care of that. What else happened? So we did manage to get a new, a used good door mechanism in here. I mentioned before, the one we had, which I think was a new reproduction, it was stamped with Volkswagen. It was kind of a piece of garbage, and the button wouldn't really lock. When you pushed it down, it would kind of like come up halfway, and the door would be kind of locked, but kind of not locked. It was just super wonky. So went ahead and put in a new to this car, but used really nice shape door mechanism. Got that in, and then the seats are both in now, looking amazing. The back seat, we struggled a little bit, but actually managed to get it in all the way. I think I mentioned before, we thought we were going to have our upholstery guy come out and make the seat a little less fat. It turned out there was the metal, it's kind of hard to explain, but like the metal rail back behind the seat there that the carpet tucks under. For some reason, the seat was kind of catching on that, and so it wouldn't slide all the way, so the seat bottom, and it wouldn't slide all the way back where it needed to go. So once Rafa and our interior guy who came out today took a look at it and figured that out, then pretty much this thing just went right in. So all's well that ends well. Easy fix there. Just, kind of fine tuning that piece of metal back there a little bit, and everything went in nicely. Fits like a glove. So yeah, other than this ugly steering wheel and putting on this other door panel, interior of this car is done, and there you go. And so the next big thing for this, other than those things, will be putting the front and rear lids on it, and then it's pretty much done. I'll log some more miles on this thing, make sure it's reliable, that it charges well, and so on. But yeah, this car is going to be done very soon, so be excited to get it to its owners for them to start enjoying. So that is it for today, guys. I don't think anything else really happened around here, so I will call it quits there, and we will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.